that we're live right now. So if you have any friends that you want to text, they can watch this live on Port Media, which is the NCM hub. But they will also be recording this, so you can send the link out to all your friends and family afterwards, which we are very, very grateful for them. So I'm going to ask, why don't my first two speakers come over here? Okay. All right. All right, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for coming out to the 2023, which is our 4th annual Youth Asset Builder Awards. Our goal tonight is to answer, what are youth assets and why do we care who builds them? Because I find a lot of people come to this event having no idea what it is. So I'm really excited to have such a great group here, lots of people at everyone's tables out to celebrate. And it's a really, really lovely night, so I hope that you all will enjoy it. To give you a little bit of background before we dive in tonight, I want to explain what assets are. So as I said, this is our 14th annual event. I'm Andy Egmont. I'm the director of Newburyport Youth Services. And we have, since as long as I've been here, we've used what we call the positive youth development philosophy, which is a philosophy that really is built on the foundation that young people are resources in the community. My favorite quote, many have heard me say before, is that children are not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be ignited. And it really speaks, I think, to the work that we do, which is to help children find their spark, to be the best versions of themselves that they can, and that as a community, rather than tell them what to do and what to think, we want to ignite it and have them really find themselves and be part of the process. The assets, when we refer to that, we're talking about the 40 developmental assets, which is a body of research done by the Search Institute. We, I'm sorry, got caught up. We survey the young people every 2 years in Newburyport, and for the last few years, we've started surveying the whole region. So there's data on the tables where you can actually read what the 40 assets are. You can see our local data. What are these assets? Which ones does our community really have? Which ones could we continue to foster and strengthen? And the bottom line is that the more assets a young person has, the less high-risk behaviors they get involved in. So this is really a positive approach to prevention. Many of you, my age and older, grew up with, just say no, or the DARE program, or kind of the shock and awe tactics. And what we really want to do is build up the foundation for young people so that we are working with them and trying to create opportunities for them to find things they're passionate about. We know that when a young person finds what they're passionate about, they make better choices in life. So we really, all of the things that we do together are for the goal of building those assets. And we're here to celebrate tonight all of the individuals in our community who just by being themselves are building assets. And I think that's really what makes tonight so special. So thank you and welcome. I think I said last year is the first year I'm old enough that I have to take my glasses on and off all through the whole event. It's really fun. I do want to recognize, I know there's a legislative dinner going on right now, so a lot of our friends and community leaders are going to be joining us in a little while, but I did see our superintendent, Sean Gallagher, come in. I want to recognize him and say thank you. We also have Kristen McDonald, who's here representing Senator Bruce Tarr's office. Thank you so much for coming. And before we dive in, I have to give credit to all the amazing people that did work for tonight and pull this together. It's a lovely evening, and you'll see the work and thoughtfulness that goes into everything. So I'm going to ask my Newburyport Youth Services staff to please stand up so I can acknowledge you. Thank you all. I know Jaden didn't stand up, but you're part of us too. I also want to recognize all of our youth council members. Where are you? Can you guys stand up? All our youth council members, thank you. And I want to invite everyone after the awards, we invite you to stay for a dessert reception, which if you haven't gone around the corner, you'll see is pretty sweet. No pun intended. So we want to thank those who donated: Buttermilk Bakery, Love and Flower, Middle Street Foods, Diane's Fine Desserts, and Changing Tides all gave us some. So if you patronize them regularly, please say thank you, because they have all supported this event every year, and we're really grateful to them. So I am going to turn it over right now to two of our youth council members. Maggie Blazer and Jack Ames are going to start the evening off with a couple videos for you.
Hi, my name is Maggie Blazer. I am in 6th grade and I am part of Youth Center NYS for a year and a half. Before we present tonight's awards, we'd like to take the opportunity for you to learn a little more about Newburyport Youth Services. NYS has grown into 3 divisions, all of which are deeply tied to the principles and philosophy of positive youth development. One of the pillars of positive youth development is to see youth as resources in their own life and community. One of our favorite quotes says that children are not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be ignited. Our services and supports division focus on community initiatives and resources to support young people and their families. Their work is woven through that of our recreation division and youth center. The division works regionally to connect young people to the surrounding towns through the Essex County Asset Buildings Network. We want to recognize Tina Lose, Associate Director, Trish Boateng, Supports Coordinator and Social Worker, and our newest member, Renee Mitchek, who has joined the team. We put together a short video of some of the past year's youth empowerment and youth voices. You will hear voices from each of the towns involved, as well as see events hosted by NYS. At the end, we have highlighted a few minutes of a documentary made by Sully McLellan, one of tonight's winners and a youth leader for our Nagley North group.
Hi, my name is Evan and I'm in 8th grade in the Knock Middle School. One thing I really like about Youth Council is the Youth Asset Survey. We helped everybody in my community by learning what youth need and what Youth Council should do about that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and this is my first year living in Newburyport. I'm homeschooled, so I don't really have that many social interactions, and when I get into the youth services, I started actually making friends, and I've never really had that, and it's been really, really cool. And I love Youth Council because I get to share ideas with kids that are my age, and I get to plan really cool events that my parents can see and that my little brother can see, and it's really fun to make me feel really connected with my community because I've never really had that before. Thank you.
Probably for most people, a little bit.
My name is Reagan Golwitz. I'm a part of the Triton Data Asset Group, and I'm a senior this year. So in my junior year, we went over all of the data that we compiled from the survey that all Triton students took, and we really dug in on some certain things that we needed to improve on and things that we could do better on. And we talked about things like environment and how we could just make the school and the education experience at Triton High School a better place.
Hello, I'm Douglas Elward.
I'm Anna Romano.
I'm Ben Norton.
And we're all students at Triton High School. We believe the Asset Data Survey is a critical piece of efforts to improve the school community and make our high school an even better place for teenagers to get their education.
After looking at the data from our school's survey last year, we have been able to draw broad conclusions and outline areas of possible improvement in the future.
What makes a good friend?
A good friend is funny and caring. They never exclude anyone, and they're always nice. They share and are caring. Shazam! Au revoir. A good friend is kind and supportive and 100% has faith in you.
Look at the person in the eye and point at him, and everybody say, you! Yeah! You're okay! I like you! All right, guys, let's make a circle, please. Here we go. Now, you want that hand back, right? So you can twist your body into it. Here you go, Mari. Now, do me a favor. Put that hand back so you can... Good. And I want you to think about hitting me in the chest, Mari. Ready? And go.
Yeah!
All right, guys.
Welcome to the GYCC. This is why you should join us. You can do homework. You can do crafts. You can buy 2 snacks for $1. You can get in by the green doors next to the preschool. And you can play dodgeball in the gym. Bye!
There we were, driving in the car, singing to whatever music was on the radio, and suddenly you turned the music down and got quiet, and I could tell you had something on your mind. And I said, what? You can tell me anything. And you said, how do you feel about transgender people? I knew you were talking about yourself.
I first came out as trans in February of 21. And the first person I told was, I guess, my mom or my sister.
The exact moment that you told me? Who could forget?
They were both really good and accepting.
Well, when you first told me, I recognized how scary it was for you, which broke my heart to think even for 1 second that anything you could ever say would ever make me love you any less than I already love you.
I mean, I knew I was in an environment that I could come out in, but they just made they just confirmed everything for me. Yeah, I've had a few friends who have said that they're accepting, but I don't feel supported by them. And I don't know, I guess it's just one of those things. It's like some people accept it, some people don't. And I mean, I guess not everyone knows about being trans and how it is for a trans person, but it hasn't been different per se. I mean, I'm still the same person. I'm just more me than I was. I'm just living as my true self. I guess I started by researching gender identities and trying to figure out what I identified with. And I identify with the term transgender or trans man, transmasculine, however you would like to say it, I guess.
So glad you told me. And, just helped us all step into the next chapter altogether. Your journey is not the same as the next transgender's person's journey. I mean, everybody walks their own path. And so, this is about you and your specific journey, not about all trans people.
I'm just myself. Being trans isn't really a big deal. I'm just me.
Hi, I'm Jack Ames. I'm in 7th grade, and I've been with NYS since 6th grade. And tonight we'll be showing you our tribute to one of our winners, Lee Gordon. Lee has been working for NYS for over 10 amazing years. He is such an awesome and hardworking guy, and I think he deserves the Asset Award so much.
What I love about NYS is that the youth can think of their own programs and ideas to possibly become a reality in the future.
I like how NYS, Newburyport Youth Services, is inclusive to all people.
Something I really loved about youth services was always having those summer trips, going up to Acadia, going surfing, skating around.
I love everything about the rec center.
Something I like about youth services is somewhere I've been coming for like 6 years, I think, and it's just been a great place to hang out. So.
Something I love about the rec is that we always have a place to go after school or have an activity to do.
Something I like about youth services is it's a place where I can go to be myself and feel like nobody's ever judging me and I can just be who I am all the time.
Something that I love about youth services is that it's like a second home to me. I always feel welcomed and appreciated.
Something I love about NYS is the people and all the experiences and adventures I've been on with them.
What I love about youth services is that anyone is accepted here and there's no backlash or judgment. It's like a really safe place for everyone.
Okay. As you heard staff giggling at some of those pictures, that's a fun way for us to go back and remember Lee's time here. And it's really been an amazing journey. The videos of the kids speaking were filmed when the Brown School was being closed. And what they're talking about is the environment of the rec center, which is really what Lee has created in his 10 years here. A space where everyone that comes feels welcome and included, and that is just because of what he has poured into it. So I'm going to say more about him in a minute when we get to the awards, but first I'm going to welcome our award, what do we call you? The people, they're going to hand out our awards tonight. Is there a name for that? All right, so we have, all right. And I am going to ask Kristen, do you want to come up? So each award winner tonight receives an Asset Builder Award, and they also receive a citation from from Senator Tarr's office. So Kristen is going to read for you what one of them says, and then everyone will get theirs. So please, thank you. They're not reading.
I left my own shoe.
They're my far glasses.
I left mine in the car. Oh, yeah.
Here.
So can I just have one? Hi, I'm here on behalf of my new boss, Bruce Tarr, who would love to have been here if he wasn't at a legislative dinner in Salisbury, but he might pop in towards the end of this. But I was getting a little emotional over there, so just a very impressive organization. I feel like passion and purpose and youth and inspiring and igniting is everything to me. I have 3 teenagers. Triton is my kids' high school, and yeah, this just all really resonates with me. I know Sully I just watched the documentary last week at Salem Film Festival. My son's documentary was selected with his, and very emotional. Christine and Mark. Hi guys, there you are. Matt McDermott's not here. He's a friend, but I'm going to read to you. We have these citations for each recipient. I'll just read to you what it speaks to. This is a Commonwealth of Massachusetts State Senate official citation. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to, in this case, Lee Gordon, in recognition of your service as Associate Director of Youth Programs at Newburyport Youth Services, and acknowledged by receiving a 2023 Asset Builder Award. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to and copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. And it's signed by President of the Senate Karen Spilka, attested by the Clerk of the Senate Michael Hurley, offered by Bruce Tarr, and signed on April 6th, 2023. So congratulations to all the recipients. I think the children are going to pass out the awards, so thank you. Right. Thank you.
Okay, now now there are always tears, so I'll let you know you're not the first to cry. I'm guaranteed I will at some point tonight. I do every year. It really is. This is, as I said, this is a really special night because we are truly just awarding people for who they are. We have people who are nominated. We have businesses, individuals, whether it's adults, young people. We've had families receive awards, and organizations. And I think it's not just about, if it's somebody who is being nominated, it's not just for the job that they did, it's what they bring to the job, or who they are every day in their neighborhood, or what they, a role that they take where they go above and beyond, not for accolades, or it's getting too late at night for me, not for accolades, but simply because it's who they are and what they want to give. So we're gonna start the night off. I'm actually gonna present Lee's award, which I don't normally do, but I felt like I really wanted to take this chance to say thank you to you. I'm going to cry on the first one. It's over. Done. Okay. So Lee came to NYS to work for a summer, and then he left for Utah to be an art teacher. And I cannot tell you, when we heard he was coming back, 2 of my staff fought over who would work with him. The fight was, do we put him with little kids in the summer, or do we put him with teens? And I mean, they fought. Like, they were really, each of them had their argument for why he would be great in that role. And I'm really glad that we made the decision that we made, because he has grown with our teenagers in this town, and I cannot imagine anybody else doing what he's done. So Lee's been a part, as we said, for 10 years. He now currently serves as the Associate Director of Youth Programs. I think we've changed your job title, like, every time I can get him more money, I add some words onto the title. But really, he's been running the youth center for many years now. He works with youth for grades 6 to 12 in the city. In those 10 years, we lost the Kelly School, where he started with us, and moved to the Brown. That year, he doubled the membership of the rec center. Then he expanded the Team Trips program to over 40 trips, including out-of-state overnights. You saw pictures from Montreal and Philadelphia and other places that he's been brave enough to take a van full of children to. He managed to keep young people engaged throughout the pandemic and the closure of the program. I think of all of the positions in youth services, the pandemic had one of the biggest impacts on Lee's role, because of how much of his time is direct with kids and trying to figure out how to support young people. And he was created, and he pivoted it, and he figured out ways to do it. Then we got the kids back, and we lost the Brown School. And once again, he pivoted to find ways to ensure that the kids who need the rec center the most had access to a safe and positive environment. Lee has traveled with NYS to Guatemala and Kenya on service trips. He's shared his love of art and gift of glass blowing with all of us. He started the city's Youth Holiday Fair, which has grown into an amazing annual tradition that families and both shoppers and sellers look forward to all year. He's worked with community groups on art festivals around the city, but his true impact has been on the families and young people that he works with every day. Lee displays incredible care and compassion for working with youth in the city. He displays it on a daily basis through his interactions with kids at the rec center and the amount of effort, thought, and care he puts into setting up programs and events for them. Lee is always willing to go above and beyond the call of duty when it comes to making sure that kids are safe, following up with families about any situations or concerns that arise, and helping people who are in need. One family shared, "As a mom, I will always be grateful to Lee for helping to pull both of my kids out of their shells during the depths of COVID. He was running innovative COVID-friendly programs like the hammock hang at Mosley Woods and outdoor time at the Brown School playground, which allowed these isolated kids to get together safely and just hang out and have some sense of normalcy. He meets kids where they are and makes them feel seen, appreciated, and most importantly, instantly like part of the group." As a coworker, I asked people for words, and they all said calm. It's lovely, and it is. He is this calm, consistent energy amongst the rest of us. And it is truly something that we all appreciate. He's a steady and quiet, confident leader. He's also really fun to work with. He brings his calmness, kindness, and sense of humor to the office every day. One of my favorite things is when you get Lee to really laugh. He has this like amazing laugh, like you know when it's like he really thinks it's funny, and it comes with a twinkle in the eye that I know that sounds hokey, but it honestly like warms the room, and I feel good if I can get a real laugh out of him sometimes. Lee is genuine. He is genuinely Lee. Young people quickly learn to trust him because he's consistent. You know what you're going to get from him every time. He's present in the moment with young people, and they can feel that. His coworkers also feel that and can turn to him for support because he'll listen and offer sound advice. On a personal note, Lee and I have now worked together for a decade. I feel like I've watched him grow into adulthood, become a dog dad, grow in his skills and confidence professionally, become an amazing leader to his team. Everyone that works for Lee loves working for Lee. I watched him fall in love and get married, start and grow his own art business, Gordo Glass on Instagram. It's amazing. All while giving NYS his all. I'm so grateful for all that you've done, Lee, for all that you've put up with over the years and that you've stuck it out, that you've always helped keep a perspective on things that are going along, and for me, it really has been a consistent sense of security, and I appreciate it more than you probably will ever know. I appreciate your honesty and also the trust that you've put in me. So I want to say congratulations on your award, and thank you for 10 years, and we hope we get a bunch more. Come on up. Come up, get your award. And then come up for a picture. Everyone that gets an award, you have to come up for a picture. Come over here. There we go. Renee just got hired and she's our professional photographer now. I love it. Excellent. One of the things that I've had the pleasure of being involved in working for the city has been working with all of the nonprofits in the area and really trying to pull together. I would say during the pandemic, the social service agencies really found each other and have developed a wonderful working relationship to try to make sure we have up-to-date information for people in need. And in that, we have had the opportunity to work more closely with the Head Start of Newburyport. So our next award is going to be presented by Carrie Perry. Come on up. And she will be presenting an award for Kathy Johnson.
Taking my glasses. First of all, I want to thank Andy and her team for
developing this award and giving us the space to recognize these amazing leaders in this community. It's really, really lovely to be here. And it is a true privilege to introduce and congratulate my colleague and friend, Kathy Johnston. Kathy has been an educator, advocate, and early learning leader with Community Action, Inc. for over 28 years. She leads a team of dedicated teachers and family advocates at CAI's Head Start Center located at 447 Merrimack Street here in Newburyport. It is a gem of a center. You may not know it's there even. It's next to the park, and you may think widgets are made in there. Beautiful, beautiful things happen every day in there, and it's a place we're just so, so proud of. And Kathy really built it. For those of you who don't know about Head Start is a federally funded program that offers free, high-quality childcare and educational services to young children in the area. So it serves, along with Early Head Start, it serves kiddos from about 6 weeks old to about 5, and then they go off to kindergarten. Kathy's commitment to the Head Start program, the students, families, caretakers, and her remarkable staff is a sight to behold. She is constantly looking for ways to brighten the center, update offices and classrooms, and make the school a warm, inviting place for students and their families. Kathy welcomes partnerships with organizations and community groups, like NYS, that bring books, warm coats, holiday gifts, meals, and other supports for children and families. Her unmatched creativity can be seen every year at the STEAM event the center hosts that showcases the extraordinary learning, artwork, and ingenuity of her students. And like one year there was a giant giraffe that just like stood apart in this room. It was so amazing. Kathy's a tremendous resource for families and caretakers who become part of the school. She's able to provide referrals for supportive services and programs that help to stabilize families, encourage learning, and importantly, to make people feel cared for. She greets families at drop-off and pickup and is able to answer questions and provide guidance at the drop of a hat. Kathy's a valued team member and leader. Her years in the classroom make her a tremendous resource for the educators at the center. Her bright smile, wisdom, and patience put children, parents, caretakers, and colleagues at ease. Her leadership has built an incredible program on the Seacoast that has served hundreds of students in her 28 years. The foundation provided at Head Start Center prepares students for a lifetime of learning. Kathy's co-workers, past and present, many of whom are here. We have 3 tables of amazing humans that showed up to support Kathy. Describe her as passionate, caring, devoted, hardworking, organized, and dedicated. They shared that she is instrumental in working with the community and recruiting families, making them aware of the Head Start program and encouraging them to apply. Kathy has gone above and beyond helping Head Start families in need by referring them to the available resources both at Community Action and with partner organizations. Whether it be food, energy, clothing, or housing, Kathy is there with the answer. She encourages parent participation in the program and always makes parents feel welcomed. She has planned so many family events at the school to support the homeschool connection and has invited community members to many of these events. Kathy is truly an asset to Head Start and this community for her tireless dedication for helping families and children. And Kathy, we are just so grateful that you're with Community Action and for what you do here. Congratulations. Congratulations. Next, I'm going to invite Tara McGregor up to present our next award. So our next, I need to make a note in between. So Matt McDermott did win one of this year's Asset Awards. He is in Dubai and wasn't able to get here. So we've actually asked him if we can present to him again next year so that he will have the live and in-person piece, but we did want to acknowledge that he is one of this year's recipients. So I'm going to invite Tara McGregor. Tara is one of our activity coordinators. She works with Lee at the Rec Center and youth programs, and she is going to be presenting this year's award to Max McCowan.
Hi, everybody. I'm here to share about Max. Max is an outstanding 8th grader at River Valley Charter School. I met Max 2 summers ago as a participant in NYS programs, and over that time, he has participated in a wide variety of programs. Last year, Max began participating in my Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, where he learned of the many young people interested in learning to play a game that he loves. Unfortunately, due to the loss of the Brown School, the waitlist for this program is often much longer than the number of young people we can serve each session. Max wanted to share his passion of the game with other youth as he uses the game to build connections with young people, express creativity, practice skills like writing, and just to relieve stress. This year, Max began volunteering his time after school to teach younger NYS members how to play. He spends his nights writing adventures for them, his time here at the NYS spot teaching kids the intricacies of the game, and shares his passion as a mentor for our city's youth. Recently, the new film Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, can't recommend it enough, hit theaters by storm, bringing the fantasy game to life for so many. I'd like to share with all of you a quote from its lead actor, Chris Pine, on the role that D&D plays in the lives of our children. I think it's so important to know that it immediately teaches cooperation. It exercises the imagination, it's joyous, and it's improvisational. And within a matter of minutes, everyone's on the same page. You're not arguing about whether you're cool or not. You're arguing about whether or not you should have gone over the boulder to kill the dragon. I think it's about the coolest thing I've encountered in a long time. Max's dedicated time volunteering has opened the door to a creative fantasy world for so many other young people, offering an escape from the stress of COVID, day-to-day hardships, and the many responsibilities on the shoulders of our young people today. It's thanks to his service that we can now serve double the young people in that program, as he now facilitates his own groups for his peers and friends. His exemplary service as a mentor in the Dungeons & Dragons program is why I nominated him today for this award.
Okay. Oh, got my papers in the wrong order here. 1 second. All right, I know who's next. It's our friend Sully, who we're very excited tonight. So tonight, Sully McClellan is going to be receiving the award. He was nominated by Marianne Vesey, but one of his one of his teachers from Triton High School, Adam Lothrop, thank you, is going to be presenting it to him. Please come on up. Thank you.
So, I teach both chemistry and biology at Triton High School. And when I arrived there almost 4 years ago as a brand new, never taught before at a public school teacher, Sully was in my very first class and was very nice to the new guy who didn't know what he was doing. We were just back there reminiscing about all the antics and the fun times we had in class, and watching you grow from kind of a more quiet kid, and Marianne had said unassuming in her nomination, and I agree. You have never sought the spotlight, but you have always been kind. You have always been generous. You have always tried to do good for other people, and that's not something you can teach. That is just who you are, and who you are is a good person, and I have been thrilled to have been your teacher. And when it comes time for you to graduate in June. You are someone I am sorely going to miss, kid. So, beyond just kind of that personal thing, I read over Marianne's nomination for you, and I don't think I could say it better myself, so I'm going to read it so that I also don't start crying a little bit. All right. So Marianne has written, "It is a true privilege," which it is, "to recommend Sully McClellan for the annual Asset Awards. I truly cannot choose," and I agree with her, "any particular developmental youth asset as a best fit, since he fully demonstrates the essence of each of them in his contributions to the community." She met Sully at Nagley, which I know he's volunteered with all the time, as well as being in GSA, and it's been excellent. He is now the peer leader. Had the opportunity to observe his presence, participation, and growth there, and now she's working, watching him work with him, actually, on the Newburyport Pride Board. So he's the youth representative for that. Sully is currently a senior at Triton Regional High School and lives in Salisbury. So I no longer, since you're doing the internship program right now, get to swap stories about being cat dads anymore and have you bust into my room in the mornings, which I do miss a tremendous amount. But beyond Nagley and GSA, you have been working at the library. You've been doing so much good for people, volunteering for special projects, readily offering input on different discussions, and seeking to include peers whenever he can. Sully is very unassuming, but his willingness to take risks is self-evident in his work on projects such as video production at the school, which you got to see a little bit of tonight, outreach he does to peers about all of his commitments, volunteering for projects to represent the queer community at public events, and pursuing acting and modeling classes at Barbizon School of Modeling, which is new and awesome. The main reason she nominated Sully is that he demonstrates the courage every day of living his authentic self. In realizing his identity as a transgender male, he shows himself in this world. He does this despite hearing about assaults on LGBTQ people, hate incidents, and legislation or judicial rulings against queer people or their families. He does this even though there are people who rail against those who dare teach about or support diversity. He does this even though schools can be cauldrons of conformity and exclusion. Sully would be the first to say that he doesn't do this alone. He's supported by a loving and generous family, who I've gotten to know quite well, and they're awesome people, who does things like making sure he gets back and forth to all these activities, who help him through the hard moments and join him fully in the light moments. He has adult mentors who support his growth. He's smart enough to know that sharing his challenges is the best way to get through them. So I agree with her in saying there's not a better role model to be considered for this award than Sully. Come on up, kid.
So I wanted to clarify. Let's give one more round of applause. So the clip that you saw earlier of Sully's documentary, his documentary was accepted into both the Salem Documentary Film Festival and the Newburyport Film Festival. So we only put a little of it to make sure that you all go and actually see it somewhere. But it's wonderful. Next up, I am going to invite Mike Rowan up. Hi, Mike. Yeah, come on back. I will, as you come up, I'll make reference. In the video, there were some pictures of large crowds outside with their pride flags and all their love on their sleeves. And those pictures were from an event that we're going to talk about during this award, which was our Over the Rainbow dance. So you can see some of the community outpouring in those pictures. Mike is going to be presenting his award to Michael Switzer.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I absolutely love living in Newburyport. This is a beautiful place to live, but what I think really makes Newburyport a very special place is the people who live in it. And that's why I am so excited to have nominated my friend Michael Switzer to the Asset Builders Awards for the support category. And this is a story that I don't think will make you cry, but I hope that it will make everybody feel inspired. I met Michael Switzer about 15 years ago when he joined St. John's Masonic Lodge. When Michael joined the lodge, he immediately took a leadership role in the lodge. He became an officer, and we had a charity called the Angel Fund. The Angel Fund was a charity designed to help children in our community, and we kind of struggled to have a fundraiser. And Michael had an idea to have an Oktoberfest. And that Oktoberfest was a wonderful event. Everybody had a good time, and it raised consistently about $1,500 for children in need in our community. But the story doesn't end here. So last spring, I think everybody is aware that there was an over the rainbow dance for LGBTQ kids in our community, for high school kids. And the Newburyport Masonic Temple Association, the board of directors, approved to have the dance held in the Masonic Lodge. Once the word got out that there was a drag DJ, Diamond Wigfall, who I went to go see, who did a wonderful show, she was going to be doing an age-appropriate show for the kids. The Masonic Hall was built in 1929. Children in our community have enjoyed that hall for dances, all sorts of events since that time. The LGBTQ kids deserve to have the same type of dance as everybody else. When word got out about Diamond Wigfall being the DJ, people from outside of our community protested and made a big deal about it. The Grand Master of Masons in Massachusetts, Richard Maggio, canceled the dance. Michael Switzer was very instrumental in getting the dance reinstated. There was an emergency board meeting of the board of directors held, and Michael was very persuasive about getting the dance reinstated. I think that everybody in this room would be very impressed with the diversity in that room that evening of the men who reinstated that dance. It was men who were 30 years old, and it went all the way up to men who were 80 years old. Very diverse background of people. It was unanimously approved. Thank you for Michael Switzer. As you know, the dance went on, and it was a wonderful evening for everybody. This community came out to support the dance, and it was a great evening. What happened next was Michael was suspended from the lodge by the Grand Master because he went against that directive to not hold the dance. Michael, what he did next, and there was a group of us who were suspended, because of this, 18 men left St. John's Masonic Lodge because of this, because of the camaraderie, the friendship, the brotherly love that we all experienced in the Masonic Lodge. Michael started a new group. It was called the Wolf Club. And he started that club in July of 2022. And he took that Oktoberfest that he was doing at the Masonic Lodge, and he had it at one of the breweries in town. And that event, instead of raising $1,500, raised $5,000 for Newburyport Youth Services. So that was wonderful that he did that. Next, he organized another event. It was a Mardi Gras masquerade ball that raised $4,500 for Our Neighbor's Table. So what happened was we had a wonderful organization. Something happened that was out of our control, and Michael was instrumental in having that dance go on as planned. Something not so good happened, but he created something better for all of us in our community. So, Michael, congratulations on being awarded the Asset Builders Award for support from Newburyport Youth Services.
Congratulations. Oh,
I need those.
there you go. I just said this is a chance for them to recruit. So the Wolf Club is accepting members, and it really is an amazing group of gentlemen who, thank you, who walked away from years and years of their membership with the Masons. And I think, as Mike said, it's really about being an advocate. Michael really stood up, and I know from some of the other Masons felt that he gave them strength to use their voices as a group and speak up and support our young people. So we all say thank you for that. All right, we got costumes on. I love it over here. So next up, I'm going to invite a kindergarten teacher from the Bresnahan School, Robin O'Malley, to come up. And she is going to be presenting our award to Robin Turner.
What an honor to be here. This room being so filled with so many people who believe in just all the good things that happen, everyone should get an award. Everyone who supports children, everyone who just shares kindness every day should truly get an award. But for us, we are honored to nominate one of our own, because an asset is a useful tool, the important piece, but it's the quality and the value of a person that helps bring us all together and to be mindful of what is important each day. And you are that. So to us, Robin Turner is an asset as she supports our youngest learners and staff at the Bresnahan School with the just right stuff, the just right ingredient, just to help us function, to help us be better. And you are that asset. It takes a village. It takes all of us. It takes a village, and Robin Turner is that piece of the village that brings us all together right here in our backyard at the Bresnahan School. So the teachers at the Bresnahan all came together, and they wanted to nominate you, and these are some of the nice things that they wanted us to know for this Asset Award and for you and all of us. Ms. Turner has been a recess monitor and a lunch monitor for 19 years at the Bresnahan School and the Brown School. Always friendly, always cheerful, greets staff and students each day, and demonstrating that happiness of just giving a greeting 24/7. You consistently model the positive expected behaviors, which is not always easy with the kids that we work with. And doing that every day brings every child to you to say, I've got this. She models problem-solving skills and assists students in solving conflicts with their peers during lunch and recess and throughout the day. Always flexible, always accommodating, particularly when the changes come. If it rains, if you need to be someplace else, you always go with the flow. Always doing staff coverages, subbing when people need an extra hand, and coming in early and staying late. You always make the extra effort to reach out to teachers in order to be better understood, to help us in the classroom, to help us support kids, and share with us what you see and what we might need to do. In addition to doing all of that, you've been a crossing guard for 20 years, and I know my kids have crossed that street numerous times, and you know their names and you see their smiling faces. You've helped children in Newburyport from ages 5 to 18. You've endured every type of weather. You wear this every day, and you patiently hold your sign, and you don't mind the traffic that comes by because you're out there and you're saving all of us from just being more mindful of those kids. You're outside each day, even every season, every type of weather, again, with a smile on your face. You're nurturing, you're kind. Every parent is appreciative, and the students of Newburyport High School appreciate your dedication with helping them cross and get into the school as we get closer to graduation day. So thank you for everything you do. We want to give you this award every day, but today is your special day. So you are our asset builder. You are what make our village the best. So thank you.
While the neighbor was in the hospital. She knocked on neighbors' doors and asked them about their lives. She went on to create a neighborhood Facebook page and post frequently trying to connect her neighbors. She has organized free neighborhood playgroups offering her outdoor preschool space and advertised specifically to all ages, wanting both youth and elderly to play together in the woods behind her house. She understands that this connection is the key to growth and happiness for both. A lot of the times her posts and emails go unnoticed. The woods stand empty. People are afraid to put themselves out there. Children are overbooked with extracurriculars and camps. But she keeps persisting, she keeps offering, and she keeps brainstorming because she knows that this is what will help. These are the things Nicole notices. The little unseen, unspoken things like a quiet child or a lonely neighbor, and the big, overwhelming, scary things like advocating for neurodiverse children within the school system or helping a very depressed mother find a therapist. Nicole exemplifies an asset to our community. I think most days she questions why she does it. It is hard, tiring, frustrating work, and there's not a lot of recognition or reward for her. She is driven to help even when those in need sometimes aren't even aware they need it. She has touched so many lives of all ages, and her impact, particularly within the neurodiverse community, will be lasting. We're extremely lucky to have her in Newburyport, and I'm lucky to have her as a friend. Friends or family with neurodivergent children, Nicole oversees a Facebook group called Differently Wired, and it's a Newburyport, kind of greater Newburyport area. It's a great place for folks to connect, so just thought I'd put in a plug for that as well. I want to thank everyone for coming. I hope that you are feeling the same kind of hope and thankfulness about the types of people that we have living amongst us every day. I am so grateful to those of you who nominate. Everyone always asks, well, how does this happen? Every year I call it the best kept secret until you get one. And then award winners are often our new nominators, right? So people leave here tonight thinking, oh, you know who I could nominate next year? Let us know. Let us know early, and we'll remind you when it's time. But we do send out a post in end of January every year. We do a public request for nominations, and all it is a letter, the letters that you heard tonight. And a committee just goes through, and we try to give as many out as we can. We like doing it. I want to wrap up the evening I'm going to invite up the senator and the mayor, if you would come up, and then all of the awardees. But I want to recognize both Mayor Reardon and Senator Tarr. Come on up while I'm talking, because it's a long walk and awkward if we all just stare at you. Both of these gentlemen, I think, have really put themselves out also as youth supporters, and I want to recognize and thank both of you. Senator Tarr I know for us, has been involved and a supporter of the ECAB network for the
5 or 6 years now that we've been doing that, and everyone in here knows how hard Mayor Reardon is fighting for youth services and a youth center, and I am really grateful to both of you for that. So, round of applause for them. I tell the same story every year, and I'm going to share it quickly before I invite all the awardees up. Years now, God, it's so long ago now, but years ago, I was walking through Amesbury, and there were some kids fishing, and I had my godchildren with me, and I said hi to the kids and asked them what they had caught, and walked on, and my goddaughter looked at me, and she said, "Do you know them?" And I said, "No," and she goes, "Then why are you talking to them?" And I really, when we talk about asset building and we talk about the little things that people do that make a difference, I truly believe that the 1 second of acknowledging another person can make the difference in their lives. You never know who on that day feels invisible, who feels alone, and that often, especially with adults and children, we don't connect the same way. I know people from outside New England say none of us like smile at each other at all, but my challenge for you is going to be say hi to the young people that you pass. They may look at you like you're crazy. They may be like, "What is why are you talking to me?" Just say hello. That's all it takes, because when you acknowledge someone, you give them value, and when you give them value, you're building an asset. So I want to thank everyone so much for coming tonight, and I invite you to stay and enjoy some snacks. And awardees, you want to come on up? Let's give them one last round of applause. Lastly, the flowers on the table are for the awardees, and they can give to whoever they want to take those home as well and bring a little spring into your house. All right, come on up on the stage, everybody. Youth Council, if you'd like to head over and start on the dessert table, I know you've been waiting a long time for it.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, let's line up. Let's do like 3 in the front. Here, put you and Sully in the front. There we go. All right, gentlemen, come around the edge.
Me and Bruce can go anywhere.
Come on over on the edge.
Can we see everybody?
And you got everybody's faces in there? Renee will tell us.